Can you imagine the following scenario? A church brother deeply offends you, so you find a reasonable excuse to step down from serving with him on the worship team. You figure life will be easier that way for everyone. Both of you still smile, greet each other, engage in small talk, but your relationship is distant. And though you wouldn't ever openly acknowledge it, you feel hurt and you no longer trust him. So in this situation, since you're speaking still, does that mean you've been reconciled? Well, the answer isn't a simple yes or no. Hi, I'm Dr. Jolene Kinzer, and I'm really glad you're here. Today we're continuing in Chapter 3 of Changing Normal, and I'm asking that question: dare we hope for genuine harmony, for heart-level reconciliation, and a different way to live in relationship with others? Now, you might be reconciled with someone on a surface level. You can talk, you can be in the same room together, but what about the heart level? In heart-level reconciliation, genuine change actually occurs. Issues have been, or they are being, dealt with. Differences are discussed, apologies are offered, amends are made, forgiveness is granted, follow-up conversations are happening, and slowly trust is being restored. But here's our problem. We've got a warped perception of what peace looks like. We sometimes give up too easily. A woman named Zhang Jing that I interviewed summed up what I'd heard from several people. She said, "The church that I grew up in really values peace. So when there was conflict, we would seem to make peace, but some people had bitterness and weren't able to speak to one another, and then in the end, left." Somehow many Christians have come to believe that by leaving, we're keeping peace. And I'm not saying that there's never a time to leave. There is. But that's not today's topic. Jesus clearly teaches if you're offering your gift at the altar and there remember that your brother has something against you, leave your gift there before the altar and go. First be reconciled to your brother and then come offer your gift. So what does going involve? It often requires proactive communication about the issue, which, by the way, often isn't the presenting issue, but actually something going on in our heart. We feel disrespected, we feel ignored, or there's a whole slew of other things that we might be feeling or perceiving about how the other person is treating us. Now, I do want to say that not every relationship is safe enough for proactive, heart-level conversations, so caution may be needed. And if you feel like that might be true in your situation, I encourage you to seek help. Pursuing heart-level reconciliation is often hard, courageous, and humbling work. It might be slow work, a labor of love. The question that I return to again and again is, should we resign ourselves to relationships that look fine on the outside, but underneath are characterized by mistrust or resentment? Is this God's best for us? Might God have a new approach for us to consider? I want to invite you today to join me in asking God to do a work in us so we can keep growing as peacemakers. There's so much more to say. I'll see you next time.